Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. I'm the president, founder, and chief listening officer here at our network. Our show today is The Power of Etiquette and Manners, and my co-host, Mr. Philip SYKES, has the day off. Today, we are welcoming back a wonderful guest who's returning, joining us from Paris. We're going to be talking about style, wardrobe management, everything that we need to know, especially as the seasons change, depending on where you are in the world. Let's welcome personal stylist, Elsa Boutaric. Hello.
Hi, hello, how are you? Thank you so much for having me again on your show. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much. It's always wonderful to see you. You always bring such relevant and important information to us. And one thing that we have in common, unless you're living somewhere in a nudist colony, for example, is that we're wearing clothes, right? Is that we're showing up with our own personal style. And you really help people in so many ways. We were just talking backstage about how you help people from the inside out. Tell us more about that, Elsa.
Well, really, style is not just about the clothes, the fabric, or the trend, or the silhouette, which obviously are very important. But when it comes to really express yourself, find your voice, and find your personal brand and your signature style, you really need to dig into who you really are from the inside. And the reason for that is at each stage of your life, you do change, your character evolve. That's what life is about. And so the way you want to express yourself varies. You might, just give you an example. One of my clients was going through a divorce before she took this online program with me, this 8 weeks program, online program that I have launched. And she was feeling very unsure of herself, not confident anymore. She didn't love the way she looked anymore. And so before going into, okay, that's how you should be styled, we went into understand what was stopping her, first of all, to not feeling confidence about herself. And we walked through that. And then we walked through who she was now, what was her inner voice right now at this stage of her life, and how she wanted to express herself. And also analyzing a life, this wheel of life that I call, where how good is a relationship area, how good is a self-care area, how good is the way she think about herself, all those areas that are very important so that you can improve the thing and really type into that and first of all feel better about yourself. Then when you are at this stage, it's easier for me to take you on the outside, meaning, okay, now we are going to translate that inner part of you to the outside with the power of clothes, with me understanding your body shape, and so what clothes work for your body shape, with me telling you what color works for your skin tone. So then I obviously guide you toward the appropriate color palette. And also the brand, what brand do you want to represent, what message, how, if you were to just close your eyes for a second and picture yourself to the best way possible, what would that be? What word would that be? And that's pretty much the work that I do with my client.
Excellent. Thank you so much for explaining that approach. A question I have for you, you mentioned this woman, your client was going through a divorce. There are many times in our life when we have major life changes or perception of not being good enough or not looking the way that we want to. And I think sometimes people use this as an excuse to not do something. So for example, if you're not happy with the way you look, you're not going to possibly change your style or be open to things because you're going to keep waiting until I lose weight, until this happens. We procrastinate and put things off, but yet we still need to be present and live in the moment. So how do you work with people who are not, they're not happy with who they are at the moment, but they don't really want to change? They're waiting for something to happen.
It's really a matter for them to understand, and I'm talking also from a personal life experience because I've been there, believe it or not, and we are attached to a pain. So we are attached to the current situation. I know it might sound crazy because people might say, no, I'm not attached for me being in that situation. I'm not attached for me being in pain, but your subconscious is attached to it. And that's the reason why we don't take action now, because our mind is designed to protect us. So if you just create that change, your mind's going to be like, whoa, wait a second, you are in danger. Something's going to happen. This is not going to be the way you think it's going to be. So this is pretty much what's going on. And so, you know, I've trained as a stylist, as a personal stylist, image consultant, but while I trained with the Style Coach Institute in the UK, I've also trained into life coaching that was incorporated into that certification. So I went into that throughout the courses, and it's really just about reframing your mindset, reframing the way you think about yourself. And that takes work. And I know it's not easy because your mind is always going to take you back there, especially when you start to do the work. You're always going to experience a trigger. So there's an amazing woman out there. I'm sure you must know about her. Her name is Mel Robbins, and she's an amazing coach. And she has a formula that she uses when she says that when you don't feel like doing it, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you just snap it. And those little techniques are just amazing to slowly make a change in your life. And the thing I think we need to, and I know it's not easy, is just to stop being guilty and forgive ourselves, because at the end of the day, we're just human beings, and we are just here to have an experience, to fall, get back up, and trying to do our best. And guess what? If you fall again, you didn't learn your lesson, that's fine. You're gonna get back up next time. So that's pretty much the way I work with my customer. And yeah, I hope you answer your question.
Yes, absolutely. Great points. Because we all do fall. We were actually just speaking about this on the last show, Authentic Achievements, about how we make bad choices, but we're not bad people. But yet we hold on to that. And I love what you shared about our mind. Our mind is there to protect us. And so many times we're so afraid to take that step forward. And working with you, it's a full on approach. I love this because it is from the inside out. And so we get to really understand who we are and then what we need to have a style represent us, as opposed to just going and putting on anything that we don't feel really good about ourselves.
Exactly. And that's also the reason why I've created this program, because while I was working with many different customers, a lot of the time I found out that, you know, they were liking, and that's not a judgment at all. I'm not judging whatsoever, because we're human beings. You have moments in your life when you feel on the top, and then you have moments when you feel down, and that's okay. And everybody goes through this. And so I just realized that the work was very much deeper than the clothes. You need that connection to really translate that. And that's why I've decided to create that online program to really work with my customer, for those who really want to do that deeper work, to have a full and real transformation. And I've seen that with my last client. When she first came to me, she was not in a good place, and now she's just doing amazing. She has all the tools that she used in her life as well to help her, or the coach who are way more, who are specialized in therapy, or, you know, I'm not a therapist, but and you know, taking all of those things together for her just made a huge change.
Well, congratulations. That must feel great to actually to see the work and know that this person is in a better place because of the partnership with you.
Exactly. It's amazing. And that's why I love what I do, because it's not just clothes. You're giving back confidence to people. You're giving back smile. And yes, of course, you help them to save time, save money by having this wardrobe management methodology with them. But it's more than that. More than that.
Absolutely. So a question I have for you is, when as we age, I'm 59 and a half this month, so that big 60s out there, does that mean I need to change my style? Does that mean there's certain things I can no longer wear or do? Are there unspoken rules or spoken rules?
I mean, you have what I call common sense rule, meaning you're not gonna be wearing that mini skirt like you would have done when you were 20 years old. But when it comes to style, there is no, I can't tell you, oh, you reach 60, so there is no way you can be wearing this. No, it depends on so many different factors. The way you look at 60 might be differ from another woman, first of all. And the way you keep yourself in shape, all the things are very different. Where do you live? What job do you do? What is your personality? So obviously you will not dress up too girly, for sure. You still want to have that woman look, but there is no rule. It's very personal, and really depends on so many different factors.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Woo! Okay, I can relax now. So, we were talking a little bit backstage about managing our wardrobe. I shared with you that I have closets full of winter clothes, and fortunately, I'm not in a cold climate anymore. And I was thinking, oh, I should get rid of everything. How do we manage our wardrobe as the seasons change?
Well, first of all, I'm going through this right now. So, and also with my client, there's always 2 wardrobe decluttering per year. One at the end of the summer when we're about to enter fall, and the other when we're about to enter spring. And so the way you need to look at this is, okay, first of all, what is my main outfit? Meaning, what is my go-to, my everyday go-to, like the thing that I always wear? That you put that pile here, and this is what you always wear. Then you have the other pieces which are like, okay, maybe right now I do not need this anymore because I've changed location. I'm not really that much in a winter place anymore. So looking at this, I would advise you not to give away everything or to sell everything away, but at least to keep the pieces that you were back there wearing a lot, because you will end up again in a winter climate, maybe for holidays, or you might relocate. So those again are the pieces that you were wearing a lot. For sure, they will be the pieces that you will keep wearing for years. We all have those kind of pieces in our wardrobe. And then obviously the piece that you really feel no attachment to it anymore, perhaps because, well, you don't really align with those clothes anymore because you don't need them. You might have changed job, or it's just not you anymore, or you didn't wear them, the way you thought you would. Then give that away, sell it, and just declutter it.
Excellent. Thank you. And what about, I'm guilty of this. I've got some designer pieces from the 90s, believe it or not, and they look kind of beat up. They look like they've really been worn, and I should do something about it. But I keep thinking, I don't know, it's Chanel, it's this, it's that. When is it time to just have a little funeral for it and say, thank you, you've been good to me, goodbye?
Attachment is always a big thing. Well, it's time when you feel ready to it. And you also have another possibility is to alter those clothes. So if you know someone who is really good into that, you can find a way to alter that piece to give it a second life, which is something I've done for clients in the past in Miami. And that might be a way also to keep that pieces, but you need someone with obviously good alteration skill and a good eyes for design. That's one way to do it. And the other way is, just to say goodbye and just sell it. And that's fine.
Excellent. Thank you. I do feel like there is a way to give life to something by giving it to someone else. And I've done a lot of that. And it warms my heart to know that somebody who's 20 something is wearing something that, that maybe they couldn't afford, or they will be able to afford at some point. But it's just nice to see that it's living on with someone else.
Yeah, of course it is. We just have attachment. It's crazy. Like, even me, like, as I said, I'm going through this right now, and I open the box and I'm like, oh no, well, I know I'm not gonna wear that piece, right? But I'm like, no, actually it's a designer pieces, and I bought it in a very cool vintage place in New York, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find that piece anymore. Well, yeah, okay, but you don't wear it since, I don't know, maybe 7 years. So what's the point to have that piece in your wardrobe? So the attachment is something that it's not easy to let go of, and we have to. But that's why I always say, when you invest in piece in your wardrobe, you will always realize that the one that stays forever are the one generally that are either the more classic or the one that have a statement for most of the time. The one that are in between are generally the one that you let go of.
You read my mind. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, I want to talk about something that I used to get really excited about, super excited. I still love it, but I'm not as excited. I'm more excited about technology, but shoes and bags. Okay, shoes and bags. So, does it make sense to spend more money on the shoes and bags than it does on the actual clothing? Or, have that staple fabulous designer bag with the matching shoes? Or does it make sense to put more money on your back as opposed to what you carry and what's on your feet?
I personally invest in bags, shoes. You have secondhand option all the time. And the good thing with clothes is that nowadays we have a lot of good option with contemporary designer and also secondhand clothes. But investing in perhaps one very good jacket or one very good coat can also be something that you want to do, because it will definitely elevate your look. The cut will be definitely different. But investing in good bags and shoes are a good way to go to, because you will keep it for years. And when you do that, when you really have to prioritize your investment, focus more on timeless design that will not go out of style, design that will stay no matter if you wear them in the winter, in the summer, or in a casual way, or in a more dress up way. That's what I will suggest. And if when it comes to investing to a coat and a jacket, same thing. Try to invest into something that has, even if it has a little bit of an edge, which is fine, but keep it more classic. So then it's something that always comes back into trend. And for shoes, it's pretty much the same thing. But I have to say that sometimes I can be disappointed with designer shoes. You pay a lot of money for them, and the quality sometimes is not as good as it should be for the price you pay. So that's why secondhand is also a good option. I know not everyone is very comfortable with secondhand shoes, but you do find shoes that were never worn and that are actually sold on secondhand online retailer. So yeah, that's my advice. If I were to show you my latest bag investment, is actually this bag that I bought the other day, because I was in need of a working bag, and I wanted a bag that could go with everything. And even if I didn't carry my laptop, I could still carry that bag. So I went to Celine, which I'm sure you know, and I bought this one, which is a classical one. You can
Beautiful.
you can either carry on like this, or you can put it, on your shoulder here. And it's an investment, but I know that in 10 years from now, I will wear the bag, because the design is so classic that I will not get bored of it. The color is a black color, and it's also very useful. So your cost per wear, like I bought it last week and I've been already wearing it every single day. So that's the thing. How long I'm gonna be wearing that bag? The leather is good. It's an investment, but I know the reason why I'm doing it. And obviously, as a stylist, I also have to invest in my style, but I'm also cautious of my budget. So I do prioritize. So that's my advice when you have to prioritize.
Yeah, that's a beautiful bag, and definitely a classic. And I think something else that's important is I have shoes from the 90s, believe it or not, Manolo Blahnik, but I take care of them. They're stuffed, they're boxed, they're bagged, and they're in a box. And the same thing with the bag. I see people just throwing their bags around, thinking, "Oh my gosh!" When you spend money for a quality piece, you have to take care of it as well.
You do, but that's a mentality. Some
Yeah.
people just are just whatever. But I really take care of my clothes. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
I just, as an aside, I moved 2 years ago and I had some boxes in the garage here that I never emptied. And over the weekend, I was going through one of them and there was this beautiful black Prada briefcase. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what happened, Elsa, but it had mold all over it from being, I've never
Oh,
seen it. I had to throw it away. It was heartbreaking. I thought, can I put it in the washing machine? You know, the Prada, it's made out of that, I don't know, that anyway, not a paid spokesperson, but it served me well for the time that I had it, and I didn't take care of it. I left it in that box. I didn't remember it was there. So, something else when it comes to looking at a person from the inside out. Many times we're not happy with our skin or our face or our appearance, and we want to have some work done. For example, do you
mhm.
include in your coaching and your style work with your clients anything about injectables, Botox, lasering, any of these things that might make people feel better?
Well, I do Botox myself. I do some filler 2 to 3 times per year, which makes me feel better. It's also very natural, so it doesn't go towards making me looking like someone that I'm not. When it comes to that, I know very good doctor, so I send my client to them because I'm not a doctor. So it's hard for me to say, hey, yeah, this is how you will need filler, this is how much Botox they're gonna put you or whatsoever. So I can't step into that. But yeah, I mean, there's no shame. I'm not ashamed of saying that I do it, and I'm very happy with it. After I had my daughter, I did, how do we call this in English? Lipo on my legs, lipo.
Yes.
Okay, so I was not sure about the word in English anymore. So I did that. And I think if it's something that makes you feel better and you feel that you need it, there is no shame. To me, surgery is not, it's funny because some people see surgery as like, oh my God, this is bad, you fake. I mean, no. If surgery is done correctly and they don't go like beyond something that is not you and they respect that, well, it's completely fine. What I don't like about surgery is this new trend we can see everywhere on social media where there is one new beauty standard where everybody has to look the same and everybody does the same surgery. I don't really go with that mentality, to be honest with you. But when it comes to make sure you look better, you look younger, you have more, your skin looks, more vibrant or whatever it is. I mean, yeah, I mean, go for it. There's no reason why you shouldn't go.
Yeah, you look great, by the way, and
Thank you.
thanks for your transparency. I've been getting Botox and fillers for 30 years, but I haven't had it for let's see, June was a year. But I
Mm,
will get it again when I leave this island to go back to Florida. I will get it because there's something, I don't know, you just feel refreshed. It's
of
like
course.
you went away on a trip or something and you came back and wow, you look younger and more awake. So I think that there's a lot to be said about how you feel, you as a person feel about it. And of course, we've seen all kinds of dramatic work where people don't look like themselves
Mm,
anymore. And that's, if that's what they wanted, then that's okay for them as well. So,
mhm.
but I feel like it goes, that kind of work goes with the whole package of how you feel when you show up.
Of course, I agree with you. I agree.
So if we talk about people who are in the workforce, they're actually going and meeting with clients, they're leaving in the morning, and then by the end of the day, they're going to an evening event. What are some pieces or some suggestions that you have of how you can go from day to night with you leave the house and then you're on the rest of the day?
So again, it really depends on the person lifestyle, the person work. But just to give you an example, a woman who might work I'm just taking an example, in a marketing advertising agency, and she can be casual, so to speak, during the day, okay? And she has to go that same night to an event, and she doesn't have the time at all to change. So let's say that she's wearing her denim, a very nice slim white shirt, and a blazer on her. But at work, she's maybe wearing a ballerina or a sneaker, which is very trendy now to do. I would say to her, okay, all you need to put in your bag are a pair of pump. Because if you change that look, in a minute, with the pair of pump and a little bit of makeup touch, maybe a chain in accessories, you completely change the look and you are dressed up to go for your cocktail party. Now, if you really need to go to a specific event, such as when you need to wear gown or specific dresses, that's something else where you will need to go home and change. But when I work with my clients, that's why lifestyle is so important, because they need outfits that are versatile. That even if they want to keep the same outfit, they can keep it from day to night. So that's why it's so important to really prioritize and allocate 80% of your spending budget in your wardrobe toward your current need. And then the other 20 can be on accessories that you like, your little fashion crush, because we want to make sure that you use the best of it. So that's pretty much the way I look into it. I can't tell you exactly right now, this is the way you need to be dressed, because as I said, depending on your work, it will change. So each situation is different. But the fact that I focus on versatile outfits and outfit that can be changed very quickly, it's very important.
Excellent. Thank you. Tell us about this 8-week course. What can we expect as the course progresses week after week?
Okay. So the way I take my customer on this journey is, as I said earlier, it's first of all getting to get to know you. That's the first step. So who are you? What is going on right now in your life? What doesn't work? Pretty much assessing your life, from your personal life to how you feel inside you, to your wardrobe, your style, and pretty much the reason why you want to make that change. Then from that assessment, I help you to reframe what doesn't work. So for instance, if I know that your main issue is, okay, well, I don't believe in myself because I don't like the way I look, it's pretty much helping you to get on the other side. So by having reframing exercise, that could be some sentence that I create for you, where during a 7-day, I create a 7-day confidence plan. And during those 7 days, you will train yourself to reframe that in your mind. So that could be in front of the mirror. It could be you posting notes in your room. But most of the time, I think the mirror is the best, because you really see yourself. And obviously assessing everything that doesn't work. When we get there, we're like, okay, this is what doesn't work. This is how we can improve it. And from that is, how do I take you on the other side? So now it's understanding what do you want to represent? What is your brand? How do you want to be seen, right? So also here I work with keyword with my clients. And then we go into the more, I would say, physical thing, like tangible thing. So then I start with your wardrobe. Okay, what doesn't work in your wardrobe? How can we screen your wardrobe? What are the mistakes that you're doing over and over again, and help you to, audit that wardrobe and clear that wardrobe and restart fresh. Sorry. Then it's also about understanding your style personality. So that's why the inner work is so important, because by understanding this, I can help you to translate this with the clothes. Then we go into your body shape analysis, your color analysis. Then we craft again your personal brand message, even though we went through it earlier, but we craft it again, because as I'm taking you through the process, you feel more confident anyway. So we craft that again. Then we go into the personal styling stages, where I do recommend clothes for you, style for you. So when I work online, I have tools for that. So I'm able through the app to have you take picture of your wardrobe. I'm able through the app to create mood board for you. Then you can just click and buy. I'm able through all of this to do the color analysis, the body shape analysis. I can do everything online because I do have the tool. And then once we go through that, then I create this new wardrobe for you with the new item that work for your lifestyle, for your style personality, for that person that you want to represent. And also, most importantly, you do really feel better about yourself, because you've been through that. Okay, this is what doesn't work. This is what's stopping me. This is my limited belief about myself. And this is how I can change this and improve it. Sorry, I have something coming up into my, yeah. So this is pretty much it about my 8 weeks program.
It's a very comprehensive program, and I could see how, as a person graduates, they feel so much more in control about their personal brand. And that in of itself is a confidence booster.
It is. And I'm also giving them the tool to do it. So those tools are tools that they can keep with them forever. So no matter what's going on after, if they go back into that moment where they don't really feel good about themselves anymore, something happened again, well, they do have the tool. They have the tool to at least, reframe the mind, to understand again this self limit belief. I give them the tool to understand how to dress for the body shape, for the lifestyle, so they also can go back into it by themselves. It's a takeaway. It's not just one shot session. It's something they can take away with them.
Yeah, that's a big advantage. It's a big plus. I'm wondering, you're in Paris, which is the fashion capital of the world, one of them at least, and you've also lived in Florida. I live in Florida part-time too. And to me, I've been to Paris a number of times. I love Paris. There's such a difference overall in general. It's a very general statement. But to me, Parisians dress so well and they carry themselves so well. And when I think about Miami, it's more casual in a lot of ways. People are maybe not dressing up as much, but maybe things have changed. What are you seeing?
Well, the whole thing about the French woman, it's to be effortless, stylish. So you will always see that with Parisian and French women, where they do dress up, but it always look like they didn't make a lot of effort for it. It's just another approach to it. It's in Florida, I think people actually, I mean, maybe not on South Beach, but when you go downtown now, or when you go out at night, I would say people, especially women, do spend more time on getting dressed up. You can see that there are more effort, whereas the French woman, even if she did, she will always happen to be looking like it's flawless. There's always this natural thing about the Parisian and the French girl. That's always been like that about the style. I would say that in general, yeah, in France, we do pay attention to the way we dress, but it's kind of part of the way we've grown up, the culture, so to speak. the heritage, I would say. But I do think that people do not dress up the way they used to. When I look back into the 80s or the 90s, I think people were more creative with the way they were expressing themselves than now. That's a little bit unfortunate for me. But yeah, no, definitely in Paris you have a lot of sense of style. And it's definitely a big place for inspiration.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And just one of the final questions I have for you is, do you have to be rich to have a style?
No, you don't. It is true that yes, you need to have money to invest into designer pieces, but today we do have options with less expensive items, which are also quality item. Obviously, it won't be like a designer, but you also have secondhand option. You will obviously have to prioritize your budget because the budget won't be the same. But I would say for women, it's easier than it is for men because we have many options. With Zara, you can also find a way to look very good and look very expensive. That's completely possible. So that's the advantage for women. For men, investing in a good suit is always something. Like for the woman investing in a good bag, but the woman can find option, right? So that's the difference. But you don't need to be rich. Obviously, the richer you are, the more you're going to spend, but it doesn't mean that you can't dress up.
Thank you so much. Something I want to share, secondhand options, if you haven't explored this, it's a way to go. It's something to consider. Just a quick example, I went into this secondhand store and a woman had literally, a customer had just come in. Her mom passed away and she brought a number of her bags to sell. They were brand new, Valentino, Fendi. They had the price tag still in the bag. And I picked them up for $60 each, $70. It was amazing. So you never know why someone is bringing their items to a secondhand store, but you can find amazing finds that are for a fraction of the cost. And most places, at least the ones that I've gone to, they have certain standards about what they'll accept in terms of the quality and the condition of the article.
Yeah. No, secondhand is definitely, and I know in America, the Real, it's great. The Real is great for secondhand shoes, even designer secondhand. They do have good option there.
Absolutely. And I'm wondering, I know you shared this before, but for people who are near where you live, you can actually go into stores with them and have that shopping experience. Tell us about that.
Yes. Well, yeah, I do. I actually do work with clients in Paris on 101. I also travel to London when I have clients who booked me, or different places. But it's a different experience. Obviously, when you're with someone 101, it's 101 is 101. And in Paris, I tend to take my client to Le Beau Marché, Galerie Lafayette, or Le Printemps. It's I have the choice that I have is just amazing. I mean, each city have their own trend, their own culture, and having worked actually in different places, I definitely understand what works best for those different cities. But 101 is the same process. It's just 101. So if I do a wardrobe analysis with you and then the personal styling with you, I'm gonna do that over 2 days. So I will go that day to your place. I will work with you, see what doesn't work in your wardrobe, see what we can keep, see what item we need to add, and then the day after, we will go together into that one store where I will actually pull clothes for you, pull new style. As I've seen your wardrobe before, I'm actually adding key item to complement what you have already and also inject new things.
Very exciting. And Elsa, as we've come to the end of our show, can you please let people know, how do they sign up for your 8-week makeover online program?
Well, you have to wait to sign up either through the British School of Excellence or throughout my website.
Could you give that contact information for people listening on the radio or as a podcast?
Sure. So www.elsabstyling.com, and the British School of Excellence, if I'm not wrong, www.thebritishschoolofexcellence.com.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful guest. And again, I love the dress that you're wearing. You look fabulous, and I wish you continued success. And please do come back and see us.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you to each and every one of you, whether you're watching or listening. We're just happy to have you here. Our next show is coming up. It's Talking Heads, and joining us from Vienna is Christine Amy Artner, and she's going to share with us her expertise as a filmmaker. So please do stay tuned for that. I will be giving my Talking Heads presentation later today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 8 p.m. British Summer Time, and sharing more information about how to start a business, some things to look out for, the one mistake that people make on a regular basis, what to look out for. So do join us for that. If you'd like to be on one of our teams here, we've got co-hosts, hosts, elevated listeners, panelists. Please do go over to our website, usaglobaltv.com, contact us, and let us know what it is you're interested in. All right, we'll be back momentarily with Christine Amy Artner and Talking Heads. Thank you, Elsa. Thank you to the British School of Excellence. Thank you to Leanne. Thank you to Philip. We'll be back soon. Bye.